Hey guys, Phil from Trail Talk here, and it's been 1 week since Cannonball, well, probably 2 weeks now that you're watching this, so I thought it was time to give you a bit of a rundown of what happened. So first off, I just want to thank Osprey Australia for sponsoring my entries into the All Mountain Assault race as well as the Maxis Flow Nation Cup. Pretty awesome of them to do that for me. And then I wanted to thank Bicycles Online for helping me out with my brand new Marin Alpine Trail 7. So what happened? So it's pretty safe to say not a lot actually went right. First off, I was sick. Plenty of video files were corrupted, and then worst of all, I didn't get any practice on the All Mountain Assault, and then also in the flow race, I only got 1 practice. But with all that being said, it's absolutely awesome to get down to Threadbow and ride the trails. I love it down there, and the trails were running awesome. And the best part was going back and doing the All Mountain Assault race, because that was my first race that I ever did last year, so it's pretty awesome to go back there and compare how I went and how I've progressed over the year. So that's where we're going to start our Cannonball journey with my All Mountain Assault race run. Okay, so dropping in on the race run. So, as I said, didn't get any practice at all on the All Mountain Assault, but I really like this first part of trail. Like, you go so fast and you just feel like a hero on it. There's not much skill involved, but you just feel like you're going so fast and it's so much fun. So I really enjoy this part of the trail.
So we're not racing to come first, we're racing to have fun.
You just want to make sure that you're not burning yourself out too early on this trail, because I can't remember how long it is, but it's around about a 12 to 13 minute run, for me at least. I think the pros kind of get around about 10 to 11 minutes. So they're going a lot faster than I am. So you kind of just want to conserve a fair bit of energy and get most of your time going around the corners, and then kind of get a few pedal strokes coming out of those corners. But it's really fun, this first part of the trail. So I'll give you a bit of a rundown of what happened earlier in the day, I guess earlier in the week. So 2 days before I went away, I came down with a really bad cold and I couldn't breathe at all. Sinus was blocked up. Not making any excuses or anything like that. You can breathe through your mouth, so that's fine. Just felt super lethargic and tired. So because of that, I got to Threadbow pretty late on the Wednesday. So I was going to make sure I got 1 practice run early on Thursday morning. So I got to Threadbow kind of, I guess, 8:30. And then I queued up to get all my rego done and stuff like that. But the queue took like an hour. And even though they extended the practice a little bit longer for the All Mountain race, I didn't get, well, I thought I got there in time. And then the chairlift, and then the cutoff was literally 2 people behind me. So I was getting towards the end of the line. I was going to make it on. I was going to get 1 practice. So I was really happy with that. And then like 3 or 4 people before me, as we were about to jump on the chairlift, they're just like, no, we're cutting it off. And I was like, no, you're kidding. But oh well, didn't get any practice. Luckily enough, I had done this track before. As I said, last year I raced it, and I got 1 or 2 practices in before then, but I didn't really necessarily know my way around too well. But it's pretty much just some berms. There's no real hard techie sections or anything like that. There's 1 or 2 drops that you can go around, or you can take them at speed, and I couldn't really remember where they were, which was the hard part. And I did have some really fast people behind me, so I knew if they were coming up behind me, I was going to let them pass anyway. So I wasn't really trying to push too hard. I was just kind of go at my own pace, and then when someone was coming, I wasn't going to hold them up, because they're going to be a lot more competitive than I am. So this year I moved up in class. So last year I was in novice, which is kind of for people who are doing their first race ever. So wasn't going to go in that category again. Wouldn't really be fair. And I've definitely increased in speed a fair bit over the past year. I know I can go a lot faster than I am here if I had some more energy, but in terms of like skills and stuff like that, I've gotten a fair bit better over the past year. So I moved up into amateur. So you've got novice, then amateur, then you move up to pro. So there's only real 3 classes, and then you've got the masters and the juniors and stuff like that. So there is a big jump up in competition from going from novice into amateur. Amateur, you have some guys that could even be in pro, and most of the people that are really good riders, but they race for fun. So it's a pretty competitive category. So we'll see how I go mixing it up with a lot of the better riders in this race. So this is where the track starts to open up a little bit more. You get a bit more speed, and there's a few fun features, and then you go into the bush down the bottom. So you've got a nice little step down kind of drop thing here. Have a bit of fun. Try and pose for a photo. And then it kind of opens up into this kind of more fast, grassy, open section that's pretty familiar, pretty similar to those kind of open downhill sections that you'll see in downhill races where you're going over the grass and stuff like that. So it's pretty fun to go down these sections here, go past the snow gums and just open her up. So at this point I kind of knew that someone was starting to get close to me behind. I had a look behind, and I knew that someone was probably within about 10 seconds, so I didn't want to hold them up coming into the bush section here. So that was, yeah, I knew I was going to lose a bit of time in here. This is where I knew that the guy was starting to get pretty close to me, so I didn't want to make any stupid mistakes or anything. Normally, over this roll here, you just go straight off and you huck it over there, but I completely forgot about that, and when I was riding it later in the week, that's what I was doing. But yeah, I knew it was getting pretty close here, and there's no real good places to pull over, so I had to find literally the stupidest point to pull over, which was a terrible idea because it cost me a bloody amount of time going up a hill. So now I had to pedal and then get some energy to get there. So it wasn't really the best place to pull over and let someone pass, but again, he's a pretty damn quick rider, so I was happy to let him pass. I had a chat at the start of the hill. So it was good because I can see the lines where he was taking, and I knew where I can just huck over things like that thing there. So that was good. So this part here where you go over those rocks, a little part there, it's nice and fun. And it's pretty pedally through here. So it is, as you can see, a pretty damn pedally trail. So you do need a bit of fitness about you. That's definitely going to help a fair bit. So you see the top guys like Josh Carlson usually goes really, really well in this race because I think he wins it most of the time because he is pretty damn fit and he can pedal a fair bit. So that was good. And then I did overtake someone here. So I did overtake one person, which is good. So I know I didn't come last. So that's one thing. But yeah, so he was really nice. He let me pass really easily. So that's good. I always find it very hard to go past and let people pass and stuff like that because I don't really care too much about my position, but I do let people pass in really stupid spots when I probably shouldn't. But last year I passed two people when I was doing the novice category, and then both those times I made stupid mistakes, either going up behind them where I washed out in the corner and then I had to catch back up and overtake them again, so that cost a lot of time. This part here is so much fun. It opens up nice and fast. You go under the chairlift, and then there's a nice little small gap that you just go over, which is very tiny, but it's nice and fun. So it's a really fun trail, and if you're definitely going down to Threadbow, it's definitely worth giving it a go, because I think you can link it up to the Valley Trail now and go all the way down to, I think, almost Jindabyne. So it'd be really good to do all the way from the top. So you don't race the whole all mountain trail, you're only racing, I think you cut off around 2 or 3 kilometers that go around the top of the mountain. That it's a bit more technical and a bit more rocky stuff, and this is a bit more flowy kind of stuff. So it is definitely good in the summer months to kind of go back up there and do the whole thing, but they close it off during the race. So at this part here, this is where we started adding to the list of things that went wrong. So probably around about 3 or 4 minutes left in the race, and the GoPro decides to cut off. It cut off at around about 8 or 9 minutes of filming, so we missed the last bottom part of the race. So I'll send you back to Phil and he'll give you his comments on what happened. Okay, so I've got the results here, so let's see how I went. So I was 15 seconds faster than last year, so I'm pretty damn stoked with that. No practice, not feeling the best, so I'm pretty damn happy with that. So I got a 13:17, so 13 minutes and 17 seconds, and that was 29 out of 39, so pretty damn happy with that. And the winner was 11 minutes and 18 seconds, so ridiculously fast, so gonna have to do a lot to catch up with that, but I think definitely next year I'll be able to break that 13-minute barrier, and that's what we're gonna aim for. So nothing else really happened after that. I went pretty much straight back to the hotel room, wanted to feel a little bit better so I could actually have some energy for the flow race that wasn't the next day, the day after. So going into tomorrow, we went up to the all mountain track to try and film a little bit of an edit and get some nice footage. So I'll show you that now, and as you can see, things went pretty wrong. Okay, so we're heading back up to the top of the All Mountain Trail. It's kind of been one of those weekends so far that nothing's really gone right. As I said, been sick, then Sarah absolutely destroyed her wheel, and then got a flat on the halfway down the All Mountain. Okay, so as I was saying, things haven't necessarily gone to plan, so find somewhere tranquil to chill out and relax for a bit. So yeah, so with the All Mountain, didn't get any practice in, as I told you guys, then pretty sick, and then go to do some filming today, get some nice third-person shots, and then Sarah destroys her rim and we have to walk back. So it just hasn't been one of our days for the first 2 days, so
but we're definitely going to get back into it, chin up, move forward, and then get into the fun stuff. It's always going to happen with mountain biking, things always go wrong, so definitely make the most of it in a beautiful spot. So we'll head over to the pump track challenge now and check out those guys, and then tomorrow morning we'll do the Maxis Flow, it's the Flow Trail race.